I spent over $5.54 million on Google Ads this last year alone, and I ended up cracking the Google Ads algorithm. And in this video, I want to unravel the Google Ads algorithm and lay it out in front of you so that you understand exactly how it works and how you can use it to your advantage when it comes to your e-commerce brand. The first step to making your Google Ads strategy work or your products work with Google Ads isn't about the buttons that you click on the Google Ads dashboard or the tricks you do on your Google Merchant Center. It's actually when you have figured out exactly what the algorithm wants on a fundamental level. Now, before we actually dive deep into the actual things that the algorithm wants, let's first take a step back to understand how the Google Ads algorithm even works. Now, to illustrate this and to kind of talk through this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go on Google and I'm going to type in the keyword 3D printer, because this is the perfect example to really discuss this. Now, within this millisecond that it took from me just typing something up, this keyword, and then pressing enter on my keyboard to these different listings coming up, something unique happened, something 99% of e-commerce brand owners and CMOs completely forget about, and it's that there was an auction that took place. This auction led to these 3 listings coming up in the front because they won that auction, and as a result they were able to come up in the front, while these listings all the way in the back essentially ended up losing the auction compared to those in the front, which is why they're all the way in the back. Google is very smart. It knows that if it's ranking you in the very back like this, most likely it's because you're not doing a good job or nobody's really gonna buy from you or your brand. So within the split second that we did this search, Google essentially favored somebody, these few listings coming up in the front, and it basically disregarded everybody else. Why did this happen? What you want to understand is that the algorithm only favors those that are the strongest. Now, I want you to think of an example. You are a ruler of a kingdom and you are looking to hire somebody to stand outside your kingdom and guard the kingdom. Who are you going to pick? Are you going to pick somebody with the most amount of money who's actually paying you to be that position? Or are you going to hire somebody who's already very rich and has a lot of money sitting in their bank accounts? You already know they're very well off. Or third option, are you going to hire somebody who's a natural bodybuilder and who's a natural fighter? Which one of these 3 options would you pick? Now, if you are normal and if you're a normal ruler, you would most likely pick the third option because you want somebody who's the strongest and who's a bodybuilder to defend your kingdom. Same thing when it comes to Google Ads. You think right now with your e-commerce brand that if you pay Google the most amount of money through your bids or through the number of campaigns you launch or through your budget, that it's gonna prefer you. Or you think that just because you've been running Google Ads for quite some time now, maybe you have a lot of ad spend, maybe your brand has been established 20 years ago, that Google somehow should magically prefer you over your competitors. That's not the case, because in Google's eyes, you are not the strongest competitor for the listings in the front, and your brand basically doesn't deserve it if you're not ranking in the front. The reality is Google wants the best competitors. Google wants the best listings who, number one, are going to provide its users and its customers the perfect user experience. Number two, it wants users who actually put in the time and effort to craft very good ads and a very good approach. Like, for example, an approach that starts with a very high quality image, followed by proper SEO techniques for the product titles, and then finally, but not limiting to, the Google Merchant Center programs like reviews or things like special promos or the return policy, etc. These are all direct indicators to Google's algorithm that you are a high quality brand and you actually deserve to rank up here. But while these 3 things that I mentioned, from the image to the title to the Google Merchant Center reviews and programs, etc., are the main things, they're not the only ones Google uses to determine if you should be number 1 or if you should be number 50. The best way to crack the Google Ads algorithm is to give it what it wants. It wants a very good landing page on your website. So if somebody goes on your website, they should know exactly what you're selling. The actual CTA, the call to action, it should be right on the page itself. It should not be hidden. Your page should be very fast and it should be laid out in a very unique manner, which keeps people on the website. Your audience will only stay on your website if they can connect to the colors you're using, if they can connect to the wording you have, if they can connect to the product image and the descriptions you have. Because ultimately, if they cannot connect, they're not going to stay for long. And your goal is not just to make them stay on your website for a long period of time. Your goal is to get them clicking things. Ideally, they should be clicking your main CTAs like the buy now button or the add to to cart button, and Google tracks all of these clicks. The algorithm knows when somebody clicks on something versus when somebody doesn't click on something, and that can drive meaningful interactions to your business, and as a result help you rank more in the front as well. This is kind of the main juice of how the Google Ads algorithm works, and it's fairly simple. If you want to win this auction, you need to be taking care of these three things. Number one, your landing page, as we mentioned, it should be on point and it should get people on the checkout page. But number two, your actual ad strategy, from the image all the way down to the merchant center, all those things should be on point. They should be adding, number one, emotion. So if I look at your ad, if anybody looks at your ad, it should be adding a lot of high perceived value. It should not be something random or something completely irrelevant where you think, is this product really worth $75,000? But number three thing that your ad should be adding is a lot of authority. I mean, clearly, if this product is going to cost me $75,000, it better have 1,000 reviews or more. It better have some kind of interesting offers in the back end so that my attention goes towards it, like maybe the color green for the pricing. It better have a very good return policy, and if there's other things going on like special promo codes or special offers, etc., that's an addition to it as well. But along with that, Google also tracks something called the ad rank and the quality score. Now, in simple words, the quality score and ad rank is basically determined by your landing page experience plus your expected CTR, what Google thinks your CTR for your main listing will be. And then along with that, something called ad relevance, to see if what you have in your product titles, images, etc., is actually relevant to what people are searching for. So if you're selling 3D printers, do you have like 2D printer in your titles, or is the image that you have for your product listing, is that image of a 2D printer and not a 3D printer? Once you have a proper foundation in place, once the algorithm knows that you're a high quality user that is providing the best quality experience, then the bid and budget matter. Because keep in mind, bids and budget is not everything. It's not even in the top three of things to do, because if that were the case, this product listing right here that's getting sold for $75,000, I can almost guarantee you that they would be bidding higher than this brand right here that is selling this product for $400. I mean, just with common sense, it just makes sense that this brand should be bidding a lot higher for this product just because it costs a lot more than this product right here or this product right here. So if you want the Google Ads algorithm on your side in 2024 and you really want to use it to scale your brand to the next level, be sure to understand it from the fundamentals, from the ground up. Understand that it's not just about the bids and budgets, because if that were the case, nobody should be winning these auctions in the front besides Amazon, because that is literally one of the biggest businesses in the world. But as you see here, although Amazon has 3D printers for sale on its website, it's not ranking in the front. In fact, it's not even ranking anywhere in the beginning 2 pages, because those listings are not ideal. Those listings are not winning compared to these other competitors right here. So as long as you have a very high quality ad, then you have a chance of ranking in the front. I know this because this is the exact strategy and approach we have used to scale over 300 brands now in the past 3 years alone under my Google Ads agency, Your Marketing, which right now, if you're doing $40,000 or more per month in revenue, you need just a little bit of extra help scaling your brand to the next level. Go onto my website at yourmarketing.com and schedule a free call with me to see how we can essentially work together and make that happen. But I want you to check out this case study right here I did recently on a brand which we used this strategy from the Google Ads algorithm, understood the fundamentals, and then scaled that brand all the way to the next level.